All right. Hello, everyone. This is my second stream for today. I don't intend for this to be long, though I suspect, this will resonate with some people. I'm going to share this over on my original channel, and then I'll play the intro, and then I will dive right in. Again, I don't intend for this to be long. I've been writing and blogging and composing and YouTubing all day, so I am pretty much on fumes right now, meaning that the tank is empty. So let me make an announcement over on my original Big Discussions 76 channel, and then I will talk about my thoughts and impressions on the play Hamilton. All right. Yep, I'm live on YouTube. I can see myself. I want to thank everyone who's watched my last upload, which was a voiceover discussing one of the more memorable episodes from the original Star Trek series. Thank you to everyone who's watched that and given it a like. Okay, so let me switch channels and share it over on my original channel. And I want to thank everyone who recently subscribed to this channel. YouTubing is a tricky business. It's a tricky business. Okay. All right, I just shared that over on the original Big Discussions 76 channel. All of these channels, Big Discussions 76 Sports, Big Discussions 76 Science and Technology, and here, Big Discussions 76 Entertainment and Media. All these channels started over there, and I decided to spin them off to focus on specific topics. So let me switch back so that I can see the data come in here in real time. And then I'll play the intro, and then I'll jump in, and then I'll jump off and watch some Sunday Night Football. All right, I'm going to play the intro. I have to update this intro, but I'm going to play the intro, and then I will jump into my thoughts and recollections on Hamilton. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar, and this is Big Discussions 76, Entertainment and Media. If you're watching live and if you're watching on the playback, please like this stream slash video. Please share it and please subscribe, especially if you're new and especially if the algorithm brought you here when I was putting the algorithms, not the algorithms, when I was putting the tags in the video on the YouTube side. I think, it shows the numbers when you add the tags. Some of them have numbers, green numbers, and I think that shows how much that particular term is trending and how much traffic it's getting. So even years later, after Hamilton was first released on Broadway, it's still a hot play. It's still a hot topic. So if you're watching on the playback, and well, please subscribe. But also, if you want to donate something to the channel, that information is here. It's in the description box. But my Cash App and PayPal are here as well. I don't have a super chat over here. It will probably be a little while before I have a super chat over here. I'm right at 360 some odd subs. So I need 140 sub. I'm sorry. I need 140 more subs to get a community tab. So I think I have enough watch hours to qualify for the AdSense here, but I don't have enough subs, and it'll probably be another little while before I get to 1,000 subs over here. Okay. So Hamilton. Most of you, whoever watches, whether you're one of my current subs or whether the algorithm brought you here, you've heard of Hamilton. Hamilton is a stage play, a musical based upon the life of Alexander Hamilton, and it was released years ago, at least pre-pandemic. So it's been out for a while. And I remember when it was released, it was making lots of headlines. It was hot. It was Hamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton. You know, you got to go see the Hamilton. Are you going to go see the Hamilton? We're going to New York to see Hamilton on Broadway. So it came to DC, and my plus one, she got tickets for it. So it had been a while since I'd personally seen a stage play. But I was like, sure, yeah, let's go. She said, do you want to go see Hamilton? I said, yeah, let's go see Hamilton. Most things I'm up to doing, I don't always, I have a certain set of things that I do on my own, a certain set of things that I like to do. But if someone suggests doing something like going to a stage play, I'll usually say yes. There are just certain things I'm naturally inclined to do. And if you haven't been to the Washington, D.C. area, um, cultural events are big. I mean, that's something in this area that I haven't taken full advantage of. I've gone to a couple things over at the Kennedy Center. I went to go see a musical performance, an orchestra of some sort at the Kennedy Center. I went to go see Common, and Common was a part of a group. I can't think of the name of the group, but someone said, let's go. I got tickets to go see a Common in this group at the Kennedy Center. That was years ago. And then now Hamilton. So cultural events are pretty big here. Let me pull up the Kennedy Center for those of you who are unfamiliar with it. I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard of it. Okay, these are all tickets. Let me see if the Kennedy Center has a website. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, and that's the Kennedy Center. Let me pull it up. Yeah, that's the Kennedy Center. That's the Kennedy Center website. So if you're in DC and you're looking for a stage play or a performance or art or some sort of immersive cultural experience, look up the Kennedy Center. And I think they have Kennedy Center awards where notable individuals receive awards. So that's a big deal in DC. Celebrities, entertainers, writers, authors, performers. I recall a number of years ago hanging out over at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. That's a famous hotel in Washington D.C. It's a nice place. It has a nice plush ambiance to go have a drink. And I was just there because I liked it. And that was the night of the Kennedy Center Awards. And so a number of celebrities were staying at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Wolf Blitzer from CNN walked into the lobby of the hotel. I remember seeing him walk in the tux. And then Debbie Allen and Norm Nixon walked in to the lobby of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. And Debbie Allen, she played on Fame. That is Felicia Rashad's sister. Norm Nixon is a retired Los Angeles Laker slash Los Angeles Clipper who played with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the early days of Showtime. So that's the Kennedy Center. So the Hamilton was not the Hamilton. Hamilton is just Hamilton. Hamilton, I don't know how long it's in town, but the performance we went to go see last week took place there at the Kennedy Center. And as you can see, if you can see the background of this stream, that was the stage. I mean, I don't know if we were supposed to take pictures of it, but some folks took pictures of it, and I took a couple of shots of the stage. I'm going to give an overlay of it now, so you can see it for yourself. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be doing this, but that's what the stage looked like. So it was colonial themed, and there were stairs coming down, there were stairs moving, there was a revolving platform on the stage, so at times the actors were rotating around. So that was the stage. It was very colonial themed. Of course, the play took place in colonial times, but that was the stage. So Hamilton, what's the big deal about Hamilton? So Hamilton, what it was, and as I was sitting there watching it, I was trying to, because I didn't read up on it before I went, but I was sitting there trying to piece it all together to understand what it was about. So I do have some knowledge of American history and colonial history, and that's something that even fascinates me. That aspect of the African American History Museum in DC, the few times that I went, that was my favorite part. The colonization of America, early America, the 13 colonies, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Revolutionary War, et cetera, et cetera. So it was based on, okay, Gabriel Meth. Thank you for stopping through. You are the lone live viewer. So if you've seen this play, or if you have thoughts on this play, yeah, let me know what you think right there in the chat. Hamilton's been out for at least 5 years, but I just saw it last Sunday. So Hamilton. So Hamilton was based upon, the play is based upon the life of Alexander Hamilton. I believe Alexander Hamilton, if you take a look at your $20 bill, that's the gentleman who's on the $20 bill. So I'm going to read this brief blurb about Alexander Hamilton. This is not going to be a long stream. Okay, Alexander Hamilton was an American revolutionary. Alexander Hamilton was an American revolutionary, statesman, and founding father of the United States. He was an influential interpreter and promoter of the U.S. Constitution, and was the founder of the Federalist Party, the nation's financial system, the United States Coast Guard, and the New York Post newspaper. I didn't realize that he started the New York Post until just before I did this stream. So that's Alexander Hamilton. So the play is based upon him. But what's unique, well, him and his cronies, his cohort, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Aaron Burr, all those guys that he was involved with at that time. His wife, Elizabeth, I think his mistress, he had a mistress named Angelica, who was the sister of Elizabeth. So, in short, and this is what I told my mother, and this is what I told people who I've told that I've seen the play. I gotta stop. I gotta just take my time with the words. I tell people that it's kind of a hip hop R&B take. Well, I'll just say a hip hop take on the life and times of Alexander Hamilton. From the time he aspires to do all the things that I just described, as he's doing those things that I just described, and then through to his death, which was the result of a duel with Aaron Burr. And I'm not even sure that I should give the entire plot away, but I'll just say that it was an urban hip hop take on the life and times of Alexander Hamilton. So the cast, as such, the cast was mostly brown. They were mostly melanated, and it very much had an urban feel. Not only, they were wearing colonial themed outfits, but the music, the references, all of it was based in hip hop culture. So I'm sure, you had the original cast years ago during the Trump administration. It made news because they addressed Mike Pence at one point, who was in the audience one night. I'm not sure if that was in DC or in New York, but I'm sure that there was an original cast. But this cast, I'm going to read off some of the names. Pierre Jean Gonzalez, he played Alexander Hamilton. In this program here, he's bald, but for the actual play, his hair was grown out into a tail. My favorite character was Jared Dixon. He played Aaron Burr. And Hamilton and Burr, they were friends initially, and you can read this on Wikipedia, eventually they became rivals. And Burr had aspirations of becoming president. He was running against Thomas Jefferson. And I believe it was Hamilton not giving Burr his endorsement that led to him losing to Thomas Jefferson, and that ultimately led to the duel where Alexander Hamilton lost his life. Interestingly, Jared Dixon, in this program, he's identified with pronouns. He, him, his. I just read that. I thought that was interesting. So he played Aaron Burr. Marcus Choi played George Washington. So George Washington was played by an Asian gentleman. What's going on, D. Scott? I'm just talking about the Hamilton play. I saw it last week, and I'm just giving my impressions of it. I'm not going to be long here. If you've seen Hamilton, let me know what you think there in the chat. But yeah, George Washington was played by Marcus Choi. Aaron Burr's wife, Elizabeth, was played by Nikisha Williams. Her sister, Taria Campbell. Taria Campbell played her sister, Angelica. Yeah. Let's see. King George was played by Neil Haskell. He was there for comic relief. Let's see. I'm trying to see who played Thomas Jefferson. And I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. But Thomas Jefferson was also a prominent character in the play. Yeah, there were a number of songs. The songs were stellar. One of the most famous songs was "My Shot." Another famous song, another notable song from the play was "In the Room Where It Happens." I think Aaron Burr, at least the way it was portrayed, Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton, because of his personality. And it's funny because Aaron Burr at the beginning gives him the advice, smile more, say less. So he gives Hamilton that advice because he doesn't think Hamilton is very socially adept. And Hamilton ends up being the one who's close with George Washington, and he ends up being the one who's in the room for many of the big time decisions that helped shape the early events of our country. I'll say that. I'm trying to see if they have the songs listed here, and they do not. But there were a number of notable songs. So the actors, they acted, they danced, and they sang, which is what you would normally get in a musical. In terms of the acts, okay, Thomas Jefferson, Marquis de Lafayette / Thomas Jefferson was played by Warren Egypt Franklin. Okay, I don't see his picture here. But it was divided into two acts. Act one, the scenes for Act One were Alexander Hamilton, "My Shot." That was yeah, that's a notable song from the play. "The Story of Tonight," "The Schuyler Sisters," "Farmer Refuted," "You'll Be Back," "Right Hand Man," "Helpless," "Satisfied," "Wait for It," "Stay Alive," "The 10 Dual Commandments." That was the 10 Dual Commandments. My plus one, she said that was based upon the 10 Crack Commandments by Notorious B.I.G. That would be enough. History Has Its Eyes on You, Yorktown, Dear Theodosia, and Nonstop. C.R. Frank, thank you for being here. I'm just talking about my thoughts and recollections of Hamilton. If you've seen it, let me know what you think there in the chat. Act Two, the scenes for Act Two were "What Did I Miss?" "Take a Break," "Say No to This," "The Room Where It Happens." That was one of my favorite scenes. That one featured the Aaron Burr character because he wasn't in the room where all the decisions were being made, but he wanted to be in the room, but he wasn't in the room. Um, Schuyler defeated Washington on Your Side one last time. The Adams administration. Hurricane, the Reynolds pamphlet, Burn, Blow Us All Away, It's Quiet Uptown, the election of 1800. I think that's where Thomas Jefferson was elected. Your Obedient Servant, The World Was Wide Enough, and then Finale. So he, at least in the play, Alexander Hamilton loses his son to a duel, and then at the end of the play, he loses his own life to a duel as well. So what happened to the son happened to the father. But that was the play. It was pretty good. It was well attended. It was at the Kennedy Center. The audience was very, very diverse. So even though it had a hip hop urban theme, and it was a hip hop urban take on the life of Alexander Hamilton and the early formative events and stages of the country, the audience was very, very diverse. It was very, very diverse. We all had to wear masks in there. Some people did, some people didn't. I think I took mine off briefly, and one of the ushers came and chastised me about it, but there were other people there without masks, but she singled me out. Go figure. But that was Hamilton. It was good. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. Depending upon where you see it, the cast will probably be a little bit different. But I thought it was a good play. It was very entertaining. I'm not an expert on plays and musicals, but I would recommend it. It was good. And that's all pretty much I have to say about this. There was an orchestra. It was directed by I'm not going to read off all of the individuals who worked behind the scenes, but I saw the director earlier. But the Hamilton was written by. This play was written by lin-manuel Miranda. So it was written by someone Latino/Hispanic. And I read before I did this stream that it took about, I think, 5 to 7 years for this individual and whoever helped him out. I think that's a man. Lynn is a name. It could be a man or a woman. But it took about 7 years to write this. So, yeah, that was Hamilton. It was a hip hop urban take on the life of Alexander Hamilton in the early events of our country. And it looked like he had an affair too. It looked like he had an affair. He was married. My research on Wikipedia showed that he actually had 8 children, though only one was shown in the play. But he was married, and he had a mistress, and he had several mistresses, Alexander Hamilton, according to the play. But that's not ultimately what led to his death. I think it led to his reputation being tarnished. And that's the other thing I thought when I was watching it, was that, hey, everything that we're seeing today in terms of our elected officials, everything that's happening today in a way was happening years ago. How many elected officials have we seen that have had affairs and mistresses and dalliances and how many times have we seen that in modern times? So that's something I was thinking about as I was watching the play as well. None of this is new. Nothing is new under the sun. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't mean for this to be a long stream. I didn't have a significant audience for this one. Hopefully the folks who came in hit the like button. I appreciate those of you who did show up in the chat. There are other streams going on now with much more fiery topics than this. But if you are new to the channel and the algorithm brought you here, please consider subscribing to Big Discussions 76 Entertainment and Media. This is probably the first stage play / musical that I've discussed and reviewed here. For the most part, it's been movies, TV shows, retrospectives, remembrances of actors and entertainers who died. But this is the first time that I've done a play or a musical here. And I will likely attend more in the coming months, in the coming years. So you will likely see more content like this. But I need to team up with Artisan to talk about what's happening in Hollywood. It seems like every week he has something on the She-Hulk. And there are a lot of content creators creating content about Hollywood crashing and destroying some of our most beloved franchises. Artisan, what's going on? Yeah, Artisan, I just gave some brief words on Hamilton. I saw Hamilton last week at the Kennedy Center in DC. And Artisan, I just mentioned you. I must have just conjured you up. So, dude, I know you go live. It looks like Sunday is your day, but I need to get you over to talk about, She-Hulk and how Hollywood and Disney and Marvel, how they're crashing our franchises, our beloved heroes, and our legacy characters. Artisan's creating a lot of content on that, and there are a lot of other content creators who are creating content capturing their displeasure about what's happening with Rings of Power, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, all those things. So I'll email you and hopefully, I can get you over here sometime to talk about what's going on because there's a lot going on. Alonzo, the All-Star Advisor. Alonzo, you're right there in New York. I just gave some high-level thoughts about Hamilton. I don't know if you and your wife went to go see it. You're right there in New York City. But Hamilton came to the Kennedy Center here in DC, and me and my plus one went to go see it last Sunday. So I said, how could I not create a little something on Hamilton? And it was good. It was a hip hop urban take on the life and times of Alexander Hamilton and the founding of our country. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go watch the Sunday night football game. Thank you to everyone who watched my my Star Trek upload. I just uploaded a short video on one of my favorite episodes from the original Star Trek series, which dealt with race and civil rights and many of the same issues that we're dealing with today. So if you haven't seen it, give it a look. It's a voiceover with little samples in between of notable lines from that episode. So, Artisan says, I've heard a lot of good things about Hamilton. I just have not seen it yet. Yeah, I don't know if it's come out west. Certainly it's probably come out west. I know it started on Broadway. But if it's out west where you live, yeah, you should check it out. It's worth it. It was entertaining. Okay. Everyone, I'm going to shut this down. This was my second stream for today. So, yeah, Artisan, I'll reach out to you. Thank you to those of you who came through. Please hit that like button. The engagement helps. If you're watching on the playback, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to donate something to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are below. But yeah, I'm going to reach out to Artisan, look for something with Artisan soon. My discussion on Wakanda Forever with Dr. T.S. Johnson. Yeah, folks blew that up. Folks love that. So I need to have more guests over to talk about some of these things. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Stay safe out there. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care. I'll talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.